Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight for Eyewitness News at 11. I'm Shelby Pay. To the west of us, in the city of Syracuse and its suburb of Salina, people woke up this morning trying to process what had happened the night before. The Syracuse police chief explains the events that occurred on Sunday night.
14th day, 2024 at about 7:07. Syracuse police officers Jensen, and I'm not going to mention the other officer's name right now, encountered a gray Honda Civic they deemed to be a suspicious vehicle in the area of Emerson Ave and Hamilton Street. The officers attempted to stop the vehicle. However, the driver refused to stop and fled away. The officers lost sight of the vehicle very early on because it was recorded that the vehicle was traveling at a speed of over 100 miles an hour. However, they were able to gather the registration, the license plate, and track the plate back to a home in Liverpool, where they arrived along with sheriff deputies, including Lieutenant Husek. When they were inspecting the vehicle and moving around the house, they heard what sounded like a gun being manipulated, so they took cover. Shortly after that, we had one officer go down in the rear yard, and then our officer was taken out by the suspect. That officer, however, did return fire, along with other officers, and mortally wounded the suspect. Once again, I just want to give my condolences, not only to our officer, but to Lieutenant Husek's family. It's just something you can never prepare for, something like this.
Were not released until this afternoon. They are Syracuse Police Officer Michael Jensen and Onondaga Sheriff Lieutenant Michael Husek. And a large number of police and investigators gathered in Salina where the fatal confrontation took place, while hundreds of law enforcement personnel gathered outside the emergency room to pay tribute to the fallen, who were then transported to the Wally Howard Forensic Center for autopsies. Let's listen.
Overnight, law enforcement lined up and surrounded Upstate University Hospital. Not just city and county, the departments most affected, but officers and first responders from every local agency imaginable, in a solemn sight seen elsewhere, but rarely here, standing at attention, saluting the funeral-like procession of their two brothers' bodies being moved from the emergency room to the medical examiner's office 1 block away.
We lost two heroes tonight, two men who answered the call to duty to put on the badge and protect the community, protect and serve. We lost two of them tonight.
Leaders seen often, but rarely together as a group of four, shared their grief with the community.
It's a dark day for Syracuse. This is our worst nightmare come true. And our thoughts right now are with the families of those two officers, those heroes. And if anyone knows a police officer, family member of a police officer, give them a hug.
The work they do is so unappreciated at times, and I got to see the work today. And this community will rally around these two departments.
Are at half staff all over the state as officers from multiple agencies came together to show their support. Northern New York reporter Isabella Colello shares more on how local first responders are offering help and support to their brothers and sisters in blue.
It's every first responder's nightmare.
The first reaction of anybody is the families. To think that something like this happened just an hour away really puts it in perspective that it can happen anywhere at any time.
The shooting that killed an Onondaga County Sheriff Deputy and City of Syracuse police officer rocking Northern New York, as it's something the community has faced before.
We had a similar incident in Pillar Point, New York a few years back. And, you kind of just think about the people that have triggers that are going to send them back, even if this didn't happen in our county or, whatnot, understanding that this is going to bring back up memories, and it can be as simple as just reading the news article.
With worries about these triggers, McIntosh and the Priority Wellness Campaign in Watertown is offering resources to anyone, anywhere.
We have a peer support program. It's 100% confidential. You go right online, fill out a form, and it'll kick it to our emails, and we set up a one-to-one peer support with that individual that might need some additional help, and then we go from there. And if they need more help them what we can give them. We have great resources to reach out to and get them the help they need.
Priority Wellness Campaign also has a buddy program. This allows friends or family members of first responders to submit their loved one's name unanimously. The organization then reaches out to the first responders with resources if they are struggling during this tough time.
We forwarded all of our resources to that individual, just kind of a way to keep an eye on your brothers and sisters and anybody in the community.
Because North Country first responders are standing with Central New York.
But we're here for anybody, that has any other issues that may arise from what they've read or seen videos of, and that's what we're here for.
As the first responder community mourns the loss of 2 of their own. Reporting from Watertown, I'm Isabella Colello.
For the latest in local news, weather, and sports, be sure to check out our website, cnyhomepage.com. And when we come back,